In all caps, this woman writes, "The discourse is BS. Shut the heck up." A thread. And indeed, she's made a 7-part thread here that's now collected over 500,000 views in the initial tweet, and it's now going kind of viral in gaming circles. And in her thread, she comes off extremely angry, very unhappy with gamers for having the audacity to criticize corrupt corporations in the gaming industry. She seems to really want to defend those corpos. She also attempts to defend DEI consultation companies, and spoiler alert, her claims are very easily disproven, so she's taken an extremely unwise position here. We'll get to all that stuff, it should be a fun one. First, a little bit more context on who this even is. With 22,000 followers, she's on Twitch and YouTube, and in her bio says she's UX R&D and game and media production by day, a lore keeper by night. Providing additional information in her pinned tweet, she says, "Hey new folks, I'm Ray. I work in the gaming industry, in UX R&D plus game production. I worked on various software and hardware for Xbox. I now work as an independent media producer and had the privilege of working on the Dota Internationals 2023 and other gaming media projects." Okay, with that context, let's return to her angry thread and see what all she has to say. She begins with part 1 saying, "DEI consultation companies don't bully studios into changing creative direction. They act as resources to help creatives portray a lived experience. The Northman is an example of this." Okay, so first of all, usually when people are talking about DEI consultation companies, they're often talking about that in reference to video games, which in her next thread, she also talks about video games. So it's odd that her example of DEI consultation companies not bullying studios is a movie. But whatever, okay, just kind of funny. Allow me to address the main point, which is her claim that DEI consultation companies don't bully studios into changing creative direction. Yeah, so Ray is absolutely incorrect here. There is on-air evidence of, for example, Kim Belair of Sweet Baby Inc. advocating for creatives to essentially extort, to threaten others at their workplace into putting part of the budget towards consultation firms.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
She has essentially made this same speech multiple times. I'll play another example of this. In this one, she also does this thing where she's like, "Haha, it's just a joke though, but not really. Seriously, you should do this."
Have a coffee with marketing so that you can absolutely terrify them by telling them, here's what's going to happen if you don't do this. And I say that sometimes like as a joke. I say talk to marketing and scare them, but consider honestly the possibility that like those people have to sit and deal with everyone who's going to come at them if this is a mistake. They have a vested interest in reducing harm and of keeping the sentiment around your project positive. And there's a genuine value of inclusion there that's not just ethical, it's monetary. And that makes it, for a lot of people in marketing, like I was once, a genuine, valid discussion to have very, very early. And sometimes that's actually where you can find your consulting budget.
It's pretty gross how these people openly gaslight others, whether it's other people in general or their coworkers, trying to say that it's harmful and unethical to not use consultation firms. Isn't that convenient? Hey, if you don't use our company, if you don't pay us, you're unethical and harmful. Her claims that there's a monetary benefit are also highly questionable, and that's me putting it lightly. There's been so many examples of DEI related games lately, for example, Concord, Dustborn, SSK the JL, Tales of Kinzera that have been absolute financial disasters. Back to Ray's thread, there's part 2 where she says, "Games are not falling apart due to some conspiracy. They're falling apart due to insanely high interest rates and poor investment decisions. We're also in a recession." So what exactly is she calling a conspiracy theory? The implication seems to be that she's saying that DEI companies are not harming games in any way, that that's just a conspiracy theory, in which it certainly isn't. That said, sure, they're not like solely responsible for a lot of these games' failures, but they're definitely a factor. She also said that gaming companies are falling apart due to insanely high interest rates. And her evidence backing those claims up are an image of Wikipedia where they talk about gaming industry layoffs, and a second image that talks about tech company layoffs. So once again, she's essentially wrong on this because It's debatable whether high interest rates or low interest rates can be more negatively impactful to the gaming industry, but the argument for high interest rates being an issue for the gaming industry is that investment firms may seek alternative investments that are less risky. And when it comes to layoffs, the evidence that she seems to be using, the argument is more so that low interest rates can actually cause more video game layoffs because they potentially lead to more mergers and acquisitions, which can then lead to more redundancy and then cause layoffs. So this woman's arguments are all over the place. She really does not seem to know what she's talking about here. Oh, and she did include a third image, which is this one. As you can see, this does nothing to help her at all. Now, to be fair, she also said poor investment decisions by the gaming companies, which is true. Yeah, they're definitely doing that. By the way, paying for DEI consultation is a part of those poor investment decisions. Finally, yeah, things like recession and inflation are also going to be factors. Now, moving on, it looks like she's given up attempting to use evidence for her claims, which, while that wasn't going well for her, at least it was something. The rest of her thread just devolves into insults. So yeah, very angry person here. The good news is reading this is going to be really entertaining, at least in my opinion. So let's see what she's seething about next. 4. Nobody is coming to save you. No incels are going to band together to create an immaculately gate-kept industry for you. The existential dread you grapple with has everything to do with the fact you weren't loved enough and that most people find you insufferable. 5. No matter how much muscle mass you grind out at the gym, people will still find you obnoxious and repulsive because you never learned how to listen to other folks' lived experiences. Dude, she's completely lost it, man. She's just so mad now. 6. The idea of freedom and independence has been sold to you so that you don't feel any internal responsibility to care for or feel interconnected to others within your community. 3. Amended. Stop giving yourself psychosis. We are in an incredibly fragile state, because not all of us have mental health care, but stop frickin' lurking conspiracy theory boards when you don't have support. Oh, and 7, indies are gonna carry us for a while. Shout out to amazing powerhouse indie game devs who work to the dang bone. I love y'all. Okay, well, yeah, indie devs are awesome, but my gosh, dude, what is wrong with this person? I love how she also demonizes working out and simultaneously acts like she cares about mental health. There's been numerous studies that link the benefits of working out to not just physical health, but also mental health. There's also some irony with that because a lot of people at the gym, not everyone, sure, but a lot of people there tend to be super nice. Way nicer than she's acting. Anyways, that about does it for this segment. Let me know what you think about her her thread in the comments. It's so hilarious that she only lasted 2 posts of providing evidence or attempting to. Then she just went full rage mode. And yeah, I'm repeating myself now, but my gosh, that was funny. If you enjoyed my coverage, please also consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you in the next one.